Nearly live. Should be live. We're live. One way or the other, we should be there. Let me check what's going on. Dum, 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 dum. So I should be live. I'm just having a quick look to see what's going on with the stream because I can't see anything working. Good evening, everybody. Apologies that I'm late. I'm just having a quick look. There we go. Check my volumes down. Cool. You should be able to hear me. Evening, Laurie. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm sure you'll tell me in a second. Hello, Teresa. I'm just going to make that a bit bigger. Oh, perfect. That's what I want. That's what I'm after. Hello, Teresa. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Just turn my volume off mute, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Someone will tell me if they can or they can't. Right. I'm fresh off a run, so I'm baking. I'm absolutely baking. Okay, I've got water this evening. Cool. Right, I've got water. I'm still really hot. I've literally just got out of the shower. So I'm going to pat myself down as we go. I've got a cup of tea, but it's just too hot at the moment. So I might die as we get through this. We'll see how I get on. I have to go get a fan. All right. That's not a bad shout, actually. I could get a fan. 2 seconds. I'm baking. Don't worry, everybody, I'm coming back, I promise. You can enjoy looking at the water sack. I'll just put the fan on. That's better. Lovely aircon. Right, I'm back. Okay, how is everyone? That fan might get really annoying, but I'll cool down in a sec. I've literally just finished my run, so I might chuck my headphones in so it's a bit easier for you guys. Good evening, everybody. Just chuck these in. So it's always unplanned, it's always unprepared. Can you hear me okay still? Can everyone hear me all right? God, I'm all tangled up. Okay. I run off so I can cool down. Let's have a look at the comments. Da, 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 da. It's going to be like an interesting evening. Oh my God. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got to meet Teresa yesterday. Oh, I've gone too far. I got to meet Teresa yesterday. She came down and saw the live that I did with Graham. So that was really good. So it was nice to meet her and her son. Didn't see anyone else. Like, there was a few other people there, but nobody from my lives and such like that. So what we're going to do tonight, let's have a quick look. Sorry, like I said, I'm absolutely baking still. I got home really late because I was in a marketing meeting. So we're rebuilding all of our websites. It's a really big process. There's quite a lot to do. So we had a meeting with the company that are going to do it. It started at 3:15, and it finished it, I think it was, I walked out the door at 6:30. So it was nearly a 3-hour meeting. It was a long one. Got home, pretty much jumped straight on the treadmill, went for a run for 50 minutes, jumped in the shower, and now I'm here and I'm still baking. So, okay, let's have a quick look. So, someone's coming on the 26th. To be honest, I'm at Shrewsbury most days. Right, so I haven't really got any plans once again for tonight. I've got a couple of bits I do want to talk about in terms of my team and the teams at the prisons, because we've been open now for just over a week. Just over a week? Is it a week? Yeah, what date is it? We've been open for nearly a week. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I don't even know what day it is. So we've been open for just over a week now at Shrewsbury. We've been open for nearly 3 weeks at Shepton Mallet. So we've been open for 3 weeks at Shepton Mallet. So I was just reading comments. And I want to just say quickly about my team. Now, none of them watch this. None of them watch Join Joel. They have enough of me 7 days a week at work, so they don't watch this. So I can say whatever I'd like. No, so about my teams. So we've got various different teams. We've got a team down in Shepton Mallet that run the team there, that run the site there. We've got a team at Shrewsbury that run the site there. I've got my centralised team, which are basically the group that do the finance and the admin and the HR and more of the centralised roles like that. And then I've got our events guys that operate from our events options and teams like that. And then we've got the investment bits, but that's something different. So the teams have worked so hard over the last few weeks, certainly. I mean, they've obviously been, a lot of them been furloughed during lockdown. As they've started to come back, and certainly from the June timetable, the beginning of June, when we started to ease ourselves back, ready for opening, the team have worked so hard. Let me just get the fan a second. How do I turn it down? There we go. Getting cold now. The teams have worked so hard. It's impossible to thank them for the work they've done. Now, Charlie, who's our site manager at Shepton Mallet, and his team have done an amazing job. They have worked so incredibly hard. They've worked really cohesively. They've just got together and they've just got so much done. They've built new interpretation spaces. They've got loads of new boards up, loads of information. They've really been pumping. They've been open for nearly 3 weeks. And they've been doing an amazing job at welcoming customers, ensuring customers are safe, and getting the business back up and running and showcasing and sharing the attraction. And let's be honest, the weather's been pretty shit. So that's not helped them in any stretch, because some of the prisons are pretty dated, some areas leak and stuff like that. So it's just another thing that they're challenged with in terms of day-to-day running. But they've done an amazing job. Team at Shrewsbury, led by Lauren. Again, they've done a great job. They've been open for nearly a week. They've had similar challenges. The weather's not been great. They obviously had the disruption with everything with the council about not being able to open, to gear up for opening, stopped from being open like 12 hours before we were due. And now they're actually open and they're going and they're moving. So, that's great. And they've done a fantastic job. And Graham obviously coming in doing the lives. And there's been some challenges at Shrewsbury as well. We've had a couple of staff who have had some really unfortunate events in their lives, of family members passing away, and just challenges going on really. That's obviously impacts across the board. And we do as much as we can to support every single employee and every single member of the team that we have. But they've just done an amazing job. So, big shout out. They don't watch it, so they won't hear this. But a massive shout out to our two teams, our two site teams, Shepton Mallet Prison and Shrewsbury Prison. And to be honest, I'm really looking forward to bringing on new sites and new attractions and new employees and new team members, and growing those teams and letting Lauren and Charlie grow their teams, because they're so good at what they do. So I'm really engaged and excited about bringing new people in. My centralised teams, the team that probably works not closer with me, but I see them more often because obviously I'm in the same office as them. They've been crap, absolutely rubbish. I could sack the lot of them. So no, I'm joking. They don't watch this either, so I get away with it. It's absolutely fine. Cup of tea and water this evening because I've been running. Somebody asked whether I run inside or outside. I don't run outdoors particularly. To be honest, I don't really like running. I run indoors on a treadmill. I've got a treadmill just over there in the conservatory, which is pouring with rain because it leaks. I'm not a big fan of running, I've got to be honest. So the way I get through it is I stick my iPad on and I watch something. So I'll watch entire series or films and stuff like that just to get me through the process. But I appreciate the importance of exercise, not just physically but also mentally. It really helps clear my head at the end of the day, and it really helps me to think in a slightly different way. It just helps me shut off, and then I can come back to things a bit fresher. So that's what I do. So the team centrally have been amazing. Our sales and marketing guys have been absolutely brilliant. Lisa, who does our finance, she's been great, and she's got a tough job as well because she's working by herself at the moment. She's very isolated because of the way the office layout is, so she is in by herself. and she's got a tough job anyway because she manages the finances for everything. She has me hammering on her all the time about where we are financially, and she has to obviously balance everything. She has to make sure everything's paid. So it's a really tough job. So she's been doing an amazing job as well. And Gary, who's on holiday at the moment, Gary is works in our event company, but he also builds all of the escape rooms, a lot of the activities we run. He builds all the technology behind the interpretation spaces, behind all the puzzles and stuff like that we do, and obviously he builds the events as well. So he's been brilliant. He's actually off for the next few days. So these guys are all great, and they're always at the site. So feel free to go and say hello. Tell them how good I think they are if you speak to them and such like that. Right, let's have a quick look. Wow, some custards. Right, I'm going to turn the fan off because I'm feeling a little bit cooler now, which is good. Right. Am I a football fan? Not really. I don't really like football to watch. I don't mind playing it, happy to play it. I'm crap at it. I'm happy to admit that. I'm more of a rugby player. Not even great at that. I'm probably better at cricket, but to be honest, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a solo sportsman. That's kind of entrepreneurs to a degree. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of football, to be honest. I don't watch. I follow it as much as I follow everything. I like to have eyes in various different things. I like to be able to hold a conversation about football. But yeah, outside of that, I'm not really a big fan. Dave has asked, have I ever had to fire someone, and did I find it difficult? I have had to fire people. I've had to fire people. I've had to make people redundant. We've had to let people go. I've had people leave. Many people. We've had tribunals. I've had all sorts of stuff. You name it, I've seen it with employees. I don't think there's anything I haven't seen in terms of dealing with employees, both positive and negative. So yeah, and the way I feel about it, it very much just depends. I've had employees that I didn't want to leave that have left. I've had employees leave that we've had to get rid of that I didn't want to get rid of, and to explain that, we used to work in a three, so there was basically three directors when we first started, myself, Emma and Chrissy. And I can remember at least one, if not two instances where we were discussing members of staff, employees that weren't performing and what we were going to do and how that was going to go about. And and there have been employees we've had to let go, and there was employees specifically at the time that had breached our terms and conditions, had done a massive safety breach effectively. And it was an instant sacking offence, but that doesn't mean we necessarily have to sack them. And I can remember the three of us sort of sitting down discussing it, and I didn't really want to get rid of that person, but we made the decision for the benefit of the entire business. So I wasn't overly chuffed about that. I mean, I never like letting people go ever. Unfortunately, sometimes it happens. And maybe I'll talk about that in a minute a bit more about my 1 to 25, which I was talking about a little bit last week when I was outside and my internet dropped off. So yeah, I never like losing people, however they lose. And I have had people really take the piss and really take advantage of our good nature. And even when they go, I never enjoy it. I never relish it. I never sit there going, yay, woo. That's not what we're about. We're about developing people and helping people to fulfill their potential and give them the growth and the space to grow and the support to grow. So when people don't, for whatever reason, it's a bit of a kick. And also, we invest a lot in our teams and in our people. And I don't like it when people fail or fall off the wagon and stuff like that. Not saying they're all alcoholics, but so yeah, it's never good for anybody when that happens. Oh, Teresa's going to go home in 20 seconds. I don't think I'm going to be there on the 22nd. I'm going in this weekend, so I'll be turning up on Saturday. Most Haunted are in, back for their first event with us, very exciting. So I'll be going in and catching up with those guys and sort of saying hello to a few people, and then taking a few pictures and selfies myself, and then obviously disappearing. So let's have a quick look. You've been in a prison a few times now, Teresa. Yeah, Teresa's been a few times, I think, yeah. Evening, Kirsty, I've just seen you there. Rachel's there. Team of Shrewsbury should be so proud of all the hard work they've done. It's great. Yeah, the team of Shrewsbury are brilliant. Both teams are. And tomorrow I'm going to do some videos in the wing, just talking about what it's been like for the first week that we've been open. Talking about what it was like for the first week we were open and how we have managed that, and also what the perception's been. And there's a stat at the moment in the UK, I think it's about 60% of people still don't feel necessarily confident about going out to different places, and that's affecting all businesses. So let's hope that some of the packages they've put forward will make a difference. Cheers, Ryan. Ryan said that I was all right for Wells threes. I was okay. I've had issues with my rugby game. I used to play rugby a lot when I was at school, and I loved it. And I played in the pack. I played as a flanker. Didn't play for 12 years, maybe. God, maybe longer. 16, I think I stopped. And I started about 28. Yeah, so 12 years, something like that. I didn't play for. Came back and played in a different position in the backs. Couldn't really find a groove for it. My fitness wasn't there. I'd love to go back and play rugby this year, and now I'm up in Shrewsbury. I guess I would go and play for Shrewsbury. I played a couple of games from a few years ago, and I couldn't again really find my groove. But I wonder if I'm ready to go back. I don't know. I might see how my fitness is coming to sort of the end of the summer for the training, and maybe go back for a few games. I do love playing rugby. I absolutely love it. It's like going to war. But yeah, I do enjoy it. It's time as well. So let's have a quick flick through. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Absolutely. Pineapple on pizza is absolutely fine. I don't understand the issue. And loads of people say, I think Lauren's a non-pineapple on pizza. But yeah, pineapple, ham and pineapple pizza, yeah, can't go wrong. I love pineapple. Oh, cool, Glenn. If you're coming to Most Haunted Saturday, then absolutely I will see you there. And Yvette's there, and Carl and Stuart and stuff like that. So it'll be a really good night, that one. And there's only 30 people going. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I know they've only got 30 places. They've reduced their numbers by about 15, 20 people, something like that, maybe even a few more, because of obviously social distancing to make it work really, really well. Most of them work so hard. We've obviously spent a fair bit of time with them, supporting them to, in terms of how they want to run their events to make sure they're safe. And Jenny and the team have done a brilliant job. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to those guys getting back on Saturday, and I know that you're going to have a really good time, and I know the fact that there's slightly less people means less, less secondary noise. Also, I know, shouldn't really say this, I'll do it very quietly so no one hears, I know that we're actually going to open another area for them that hasn't been accessible for a long, long time, which is a really active area, so they're going to have access to that as well on Saturday, so that's going to be really good for people going to that event. Right, just flicking through the rest of the comments. Elaine, did you go on the ghost tour last night? I didn't go for I didn't turn up for the ghost tours last night. I had another big day. I had stuff to do, but it looks like Elaine went, so she'll be able to tell you what the ghost tours were like. I'll read it out, but I know from speaking to the team, they said they had really good tours, that people really enjoyed it. So hopefully she'll second that. Let's have a quick flick through. We've done the evening, Kirsty, so I'll say evening again. Teresa. Yeah, can't go wrong with pineapple on pizza. Oh my god, evenings. Definitely pineapple. People are loving the pineapple. Kirsty's asked who I went to school with, funny enough. Kirsty and I went to school for 5 years. We were in the same class. So if you want to know what I was like at school, ask Kirsty. She'll be able to tell you. I think I was voted by my teachers most likely to end up in prison. Well, there was a few other people that were most likely, but I was certainly one of them potentially. So they got that right. She's asking about Gloucester. We don't run Gloucester anymore. No, we stopped running that a couple of years ago, and I believe it is due to be turned into houses at some point soon. I don't know what their timetable is looking like for that. Big ham and pineapple debate. It's going to be pineapple gate. Most unexplained thing I've seen in a prison. I mean, Lauren. I guess she's up there. I don't know. I'm just in throwing insult mood tonight. No, most unexplained thing. It's the shadows. It's the second guessing yourself, and I'm trying to see for those people that have been and I know Kirsty's been. She came for one of our lives the other day, and there's probably a few other people on here that maybe did as well. It's when you're and anybody who's been to the prison and seen it. It's the bits you kind of see in corridors and shadows and doors banging and stuff like that you don't capture on film. You don't see it as clearly as necessarily a person. You sort of double guess yourself. Did that happen? Didn't that happen? And those are biggies for me. That happens a lot, and I'm always kind of looking back to myself to go, am I going mad? Have I been institutionalized? Have I been in for a bit too long? Am I too stressed? Because my stress levels can get up here sometimes. And running and stuff like that helps me to just reduce that. I'm very aware of how high my stress levels can get. And sometimes I think to myself, am I going crazy? Did I just see that person or that shadow or that movement at the end of the corridor, and I go to the end of the corridor into an empty room, there's nobody there. So those kind of things happen a fair bit. Will we be there on the 26th? What's happening on the 26th? Let me just open my diary in a second, Thomas. Let me just find it. I'm sorry, Dave. You threw me off because you got 3 names on Facebook. 26th. 26th is a Saturday. I don't know. We're definitely going to... Oh, no, 26th is Sunday. If you're there for the tours, I'm not due to be there, but that could change. I think that's also Lauren's weekend off. But no, somebody will be there. I mean, someone will be there. I'm not sure who, but someone will be there. And assuming that's Shrewsbury, not Shepton. Okay, if I go anywhere in the world, where would I go and why? God, a lot of questions tonight. I'm loving this. I really want to go to Rio. I really want to go to Rio. Do you know what? I want to go to loads of places, and I've got a big plan. Emma and I and the kids have got a plan that in a few years' time, I think when the kids 12 and 14, I think our plan is to take a little bit of time and go and travel South Africa. And we'll go and see different areas in Africa and South Africa. Certainly want to go and travel some different places in the US. Might leave that a little while until it's a little bit safer in terms of the coronavirus and stuff like that. And maybe a different president, I don't know, we'll see. Really want to go to Rio and South America and places like that. I'm off to Mexico in November, assuming that's still all good to go. So some other places, I guess, all over the place. I mean, I've been to quite a lot of countries. I've been very fortunate that I've travelled relatively extensively over my short years. I think I'd like to do more of that and see more places and experience more culture. And what I like to do is not just see the touristy bits. I like to get behind that and see the reality, see the real life. And when I go to places like Dominican Republic, for example, although we stay in a hotel and we stay in a complex, a really nice complex, and it is, it's about taking 2 weeks of just doing no work type stuff. We do go out and do a lot of things. We'll take excursions or private taxis, and we'll go out into the real areas, if you will, and take sort of sometimes tours and sometimes go off on our own back, and we'll kind of experience the country and the culture as it is, as opposed to just seeing the touristy elements of a hotel and stuff like that. So, but I do love to travel. Most haunted events. I don't know if there'll be any videos. I don't know. That's down to them. Most haunted needs to come back on TV. Hey, tweet Carl. Carl is a huge Twitter user. So drop Carl a message, and I'm sure he will be able to tell you what they're up to in terms of TV stuff with Most Haunted. Elaine said loads of stuff happened. She felt someone pinch her arm yesterday in cell 19 on A-Wing. That's interesting. Cell 19's halfway down the left-hand side. It's 2 cells beyond where Graham was doing the tour on Wednesday. Nicola's at the prison on Saturday night. Nicola, I will see you there. So make sure you say hello. Yeah. Kirsty had a cell door slam when she was in the wing. I remember that. Maurice. Maurice is a ex-prison officer. He is down south. He doesn't work for us, funny enough, and that's probably a mistake on my part, because I think Maurice has applied for a job a couple of times at Shepton, and and that's maybe something that we've missed out on, Maurice, and that's on me, is potentially not bringing you into the fray and into the team, because I know there was a few people that applied for different jobs, and yeah. So, but Maurice, I believe, works at one of the other prisons that kind of is open, sort of does tours, but kind of doesn't do tours. I'm not really sure. He'll be able to tell me in a second, I'm sure, on messages or on the feed. I don't know how this goes, but he's an ex-prison officer and certainly knows his stuff, because I know from seeing these things and from the messages he sends me and from the comments he puts up, well, this guy knows what it's like to work in a prison. So yeah, looks to have a lot of knowledge, which is a great thing if you're obviously running prison tours. So and maybe we'll see him join us in the future. That would be good. Are we going to do a live Facebook at Shepton? Well, first of all, we've got a live Facebook coming at Shrewsbury on the 18th. So that's a week Saturday. So I think Most Wanted have got an event this week on the 11th. They've got an event on the 25th, 24th, I think, actually. I think they've got one on the 11th, which is Saturday, and then one on the 24th. We are going to do a live on the 18th, me, Lauren and Stace. I don't know where we're going to do it. Obviously, it'll be in the prison, but I don't know which areas we'll do it in the prison. So we're going to do that. And I think we might move to kind of like a monthly sort of model for them. It's a bit tricky because obviously paranormals are on Fridays and Saturdays, so it's a bit tougher for us to do them when we're back open. But we will do that. And yes, we will do one in Shepton. The trouble with doing it in Shepton is the internet is so slow. It's grindingly slow. It's really hard work. So that's why we haven't done them. And obviously we're in Shrewsbury. I'm just going to plug my computer in. But Graham is going to do a live at some point from Shepton. I think, I'm not sure if it's the end of July. We're going to try and do a live from Shepton, doing one of the areas there. So again, we'll obviously see as we get closer to it. Let me have a quick look at some of these comments. If you could buy any prison or castle in the world, where would you buy and why? I'd buy Shrewsbury. It's that simple. I'd buy Shrewsbury and or Shepton Mallet. I haven't got enough money to buy both. I don't even know if I've got enough money to buy one. I would buy one of those two. You're going to ask me to choose, so I'm going to preempt the question. I think I would buy. I don't know if I can say. Do you know what? It's a really hard choice as to which one I would buy if I could buy one, because they've got pretty much the same price tag. Shrewsbury is bigger. It's got more buildings. It's in a bigger town with a bigger footfall on a day-to-day basis. Shepton is smaller, but it's got 450 years of history. It is in a town that's a lot smaller with very little footfall, just natural kind of footfall from the other stores. But it is a tourism hotspot. So I'm kind of torn between my heart in terms of which I feel I should buy, which is making a slightly different decision to my head because there's a commercial aspect in there as well. So yeah, I don't know, but you know, I possibly could buy either if I can afford them. So I guess we'll see. Maybe you'll find out in the coming days or weeks, months. But I'm working hard to buy one of them. Let's put it that way. If anyone wants to chip in a few quid, you know, I'm happy to take. I'm happy to take donations or, I guess, investments of, you know, whatever. You know, chuck the money our way, and we'll chuck it into the pot to buy a jail. We could buy a prison together. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Just people talking about different tours and stuff and when people are coming. Really looking forward to seeing you guys when you come. And when you do come, please ask to say hello. If you see us, shout and say hi. And if we're not there, and you want, obviously if you want to see us, don't. But you know, if you want to see us, give us a shout. And apologies, massive apologies to Teresa, who I saw yesterday, because she came in from the live and she could see me. I was sort of running around trying to get stuff ready, making sure we were live. And then afterwards I had to jump out of the live, pack everything away and get into a meeting. It's an exciting life being a CEO, I promise. and now I had to get into a meeting, and meetings back to back, so I didn't really have a chance to chat to her properly. We did get a photo. I've got it right here, so let me just find it. Dun, 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 dun. We got ourselves a photo. Let me just see if I can. So, and actually, I think the next one's even better. Because there's Graham. I don't know why, but Graham decided he was going to start dabbing. Let me just see if I can. Oh, for some reason I'm recording. So we did get a photo. So it was really good to meet you and to see you. So thank you very much for coming down. Okay, Maurice has responded. Currently semi-retired, looking to finish. If I can take the right placement, 30 years taken. I'm not surprised, Maurice. Are you still working in an actual prison, Maurice? Like an actual working prison with obviously prisoners? I hadn't realised that. I thought you were running tours at like Dorchester or somewhere like that. Oh, Kathy, you're going to lend me a £5. Thanks, cheers. I mean, I don't know what your interest rates are going to be. And your repayment plans, so let me know. Laurie's going to let me £3.25. Oh, you're going to let me have £3.25. So I've got £3.25. I've borrowed a £5. £8.25. Here we go. We're on the way. I am. Rachel was saying, I thought you were buying Shrewsbury. I am pressing hard. It is something I am absolutely 100% dedicated to do. And when you see me and I look fucking knackered, that's part of the reason why. Because it doesn't matter which prison I buy, I've got to raise a lot of money, as I've said before in the lives. The trouble is that when the MOJ sold the prisons, they sold them relatively cheaply. It is public, so I can talk about it, although I probably won't tonight. They did sell them relatively cheaply, but since then, developers obviously bought them. They've got planning permission on them, so the price goes up through the roof because they're effectively selling them as planning. As development plots, as development land, so therefore the value goes up through the roof, and it doesn't matter if I'm buying it to use it as a tourist attraction, the valuation is still the same. So I'm having to raise, we're talking into a good couple of £1 million upwards, so it's not a small amount of money. Obviously COVID-19 hasn't helped, because we've been closed down, so we chewed for 100 grand, just under 100 grand with some change. In the 4 months we were shut. That's just our standing still cost for 4 months, and that's obviously with our staff on furlough as well, so it's a really expensive thing to do. The banks are not overly engaged with tourism at the moment because obviously it's a slow burner to get back up and running, so they're not overly keen in terms of lending, and obviously we've got deposits to raise and stuff like that, so it's a hard tool. It's a hard journey, and one thing I thought earlier I would say tonight, so I'll go to it now. As an entrepreneur, there is always something going on that you don't see, that I don't talk about at all to any of my team, to anybody publicly. I might talk behind the scenes with maybe one or two very, very trusted people, very close in a circle, like really, really tight in a circle. I might talk to one or two of them about it. But there's always something. Every day there is something going on that is quite serious behind the scenes. Even now, I'm talking to you, I'm talking about the future of everything. I know in my head there is some massive things going on in our business that will affect our success, and how much success we have. And those are the pressures and the realities of being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. And every day, pretty much every day, and certainly at the moment, and certainly for the last few months, I make decisions that affect people's lives. Sometimes for customers, sometimes for our employees, their employees' families, and the knock-on effects, and so on and so forth. So those are some of the pressures that come with the job, which I quite like. But you have to really watch your stress levels, because it's really easy for business owners and entrepreneurs and stuff like that to stress levels go through the roof. It is so easy, and you do see people burning out. You do see people having early heart attacks, and you do see a lot of unhealthy people. And I guess the same is for managing director. Anybody that's relatively high up in an organisation will have that level of stress because it's placed upon them. When you're the owner, you're the last defence. The defence is probably the wrong word, but you're the last person in the chain. It will go up and up and up, and everyone will get affected, but ultimately it is potentially people may lose their jobs, which is awful. but ultimately you're losing your entire livelihood and anything you might have invested. And those are part and parcel of the risks. So I don't think that's not a drastic issue for us. I'm not saying that. I'm just, that is part and parcel of it. Right, I missed where I was. Let's have a quick look. Sell a brick. Sell a brick. We have got some bricks actually. I could sell bricks. Although I need them to rebuild part of the wall that got knocked down when they did the thing. When they did I need them for part of the wall to rebuild that they took out to take the portcables out. So I'm just reading the comments. Catch up, stressed a bit. I'm okay. I mean, do you know what? I did a video, I think it was this morning, I did the video about the government announcement. It might have been yesterday, I can't remember. Today or yesterday I did the video. And I watched it back, and I don't normally watch my videos back, but I saw it and I went, wow, I look really tired. And the crazy thing was I didn't even feel tired when I did it. When I did it, I felt pumped. I was excited. I was like, yeah, here we go. I just looked tired. And that's part and parcel of it. Like I say, it's just, I'm generally excited. It doesn't matter what's going on. Even if I look tired, if I'm a bit like, oh my God, I'm still quite excited. It's always something. There's always something stressful going on. There's always something negative going on. There's always some really positive things going on. Loads of positive things happening at the same time. So I don't know if anyone saw my post earlier about social media marketing. That was fun. A lot of meetings today. Officer G would be a great granddad. I will let his daughter know. Let's have a quick look. That's amazing. Never saw anything paranormal on a visit to the prison, but I screamed when two people ran around the corner on a prison break event. They start on the 18th. So yeah, that's good. Ah, right, Maurice. Nicely put, Maurice. Okay, so Maurice works in the Vern. He did the open day tours at Dorchester Prison. So this is something I'm not involved in, but I had influence in without even having influence in it. So it's one of those weird things. But basically, the company that owned Dorchester and stuff, City and Country, they did open days to show people what their plans were for the prison, and basically show people a lot of the prison. And somebody shared it on Facebook that they were going to be open the prison. It wasn't me. I'm just saying. Somebody shared it on Facebook. The prison was open and it was free, and they had 3,500 people turn up in a day. I'm not sure how close that 3,500 is. I heard the actual count was closer to 1,500. But it was a lot of people, and they took them all around Dorchester basically in a day. And they turned around to me and said, "Oh, I didn't realise your business was like so potentially profitable." I was like, "Yeah, it's a good business basically. I mean, it's a bit more to it than just opening the doors, but yeah, it makes sense. However, if you charged all those people a tenner, you would have got those numbers." But yeah, it's I know they had that years ago, and that's great because it helps drive the industry. So I think that's really good. But it did make me chuckle that they were so surprised. There weren't many staff there either because they weren't expecting those numbers. They just turned up. And I laugh because this is what we do every single day. Our numbers are quiet at the moment because we just opened, but this is tourism. People through the door, and I live and breathe and do this every single day. So to me, it's a smile on my face because I know the pressures. And Maurice, I know the pain you must have felt that day because I know what it's like. Laurie's up to gift, 325 to a tenner. Here we go. Kathy, there is no way I am standing next to you in Dragon's Den. I can tell you that right now. I stood near you the other day when you came on the live. I'm not standing in Dragon's Den with you to pitch for money. It'd be crazy. So I'm not doing that. But thank you for the offer. Let's have a quick look. I think some of you guys are coming on the ghost tour. Is it next? Is it on the 22nd? You guys are coming on the ghost tour. Is it a week Wednesday? Is that right? Is that what I'm right thinking? So somebody tell me who's coming on a week Wednesday. Do I know why the cameras aren't working for the live Haunted? They got unplugged yesterday. because we were doing our ghost tour, so we obviously unplugged them during our tours. I imagine they've just not been plugged back in. I'll have a look in the morning and I'll plug them back in if they haven't been already. So we'll do that and get those back in. They'll be running for another week or two before they come down, I think, permanently. So we'll sort of see what's happening there. I'll have to check Most Haunted. Yeah, Maurice. Yeah, that's it, Maurice. You got it. 22nd, Teresa's coming. 29th, okay. 22nd for Rachel. Kathy's coming. Kirsty's coming. Cool. I'll be there, guys. I will be there on the 22nd. I'll be there at the beginning of your tour because I think you guys are on the 9:30. I remember somebody saying, and I'll say hello and stuff, and obviously you can do your tour. You're there to see the prison for a ghost tour. You're not there to see me. Right, what should we talk about? I'm going to do another 5 minutes, I think, because I started late, so I'll finish slightly late, and also I haven't eaten yet, so I need to go and eat. Don't know if you saw my post about social media earlier. Big advocate, big fan of social media advertising. I really think that's where the world now is for advertising. It's certainly where it will be. And I do think print and radio and TV is kind of dwindling down. I mean, I haven't watched an advert for years. Oh, sorry, Stacey. Stacey's messaged me. It's fine. So big advocate. And I'm curious, what do you guys do when you see an advert in social media? You see a sponsored ad in social media. Do you flick past it? Do you stop? Is it based on whether you're interested in it or not? Stuff like that. I'm curious because I spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of money in social media advertising. A lot of money. I mean, I think some of you may well be shocked at the amount we've spent in the last 2 weeks alone just to get our site back open. Just in advertising, just in social media advertising, in one metric. It's a lot of money. It certainly makes me lose more of my hair. Okay, let's have a quick look. 5th, desperate to come to a guided tour. Guided tours start again on the 18th, Laurie. And we'll love to see you as well, Laurie. We see you a lot via messages and stuff like that and things like that. So yeah, really looking forward. And I think it was Southampton. Look, yeah. So I assume you'll be going to Shepton. Anyone want Joel's autograph? Kirsty's gonna start auctioning off my autograph. I wouldn't. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. It looks a state, my autograph. Kathy, you're not having hugs. Still social distancing, so no hugs. Don't know what's going on. Yeah, but it's not okay. It gets my attention and interest. Yeah, that's it. So right, I guess you know what, we're pretty much there. These things are always unscripted, unplanned, unprepared. I never know what's going to happen. I can hear my kids kicking off upstairs. So yeah, and I'm going to continue to do them because, to be honest, I've said this before, I'll say it again, Thursday evenings for me is a real outlet. I really enjoy doing these. And I love the fact that, you know, there was 32 people, I think, on earlier. There's about 20 odd now, so people obviously dropping in, coming in and off because I'm boring. And I waffle. But do you know what? Even if nobody watched it, I actually really enjoy it because it's like don't take this the wrong way, it's a little bit like a counselling session for me because I can just talk crap and you guys are so kind, you're so nice, asking questions back and listening to me talk crap, that I really like it. So thank you so much because, like I say, for me this is a real outlet, and it's saving me thousands of pounds in counsellors and professional therapists, so that's great. Right, I'm going to finish off now. I'm just going to look through his last comments, answer anything that's there, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to have chicken stroganoff this evening, chicken stroganoff and rice. I will share something I did the other day with you. So I had a bit of an argument with Emma the other day. I was a dick, in fairness, in the way I went about the argument. So we had a bit of an argument. I went to work, and I decided that I wanted to get her some flowers on my way back, but I realised that, like, the co-op and the stations, everything on between myself and where we live, wasn't selling flowers at the moment. They didn't have any fresh flowers, so I thought outside the box, and in the prison kitchen I went and got some flour, It's not a bag of cocaine, I promise. And some more flour, and some more flour, and I gave her flowers. And that seemed to go some way to reconciliation of me being a bit of a prick. Let's have a quick look. She doesn't watch this either, so that's not a problem. I could charge Keely. What a great idea! I can charge £1 for an autograph, and it goes to Help to Buy the Prison. So I need to sell 2.5. How many do I need to sell? Like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 million autographs, something like that. I might just print them because I don't know if I could sign that many. Kirsty's going to sort out the autographs. I can see a commission coming here. I can see 10%, 15% commission being taken by Kirsty for autographs. And I think if we sell 10, we'll be doing really bloody well. Right, guys, I'm going to head off. Thank you very much, like I say, for listening. I'm always into Pinterest right now. But I'm really glad, you know what, I suddenly thought when I got home, I was like, God, if I got stopped by the police or anything, they looked in, they just saw like these bags like wrapped in cling film that I could be going to prison for real. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. It's been lovely to do this again. I'm going to do a couple of videos tomorrow on the Shows of Prison and the Shepton Prison channels, just talking about what it's been like. I will be at the prison on Saturday. I'll do a couple of videos there. I won't be able to do too much because it's not our event, it's the Most Haunted event, so I'll do a couple of bits and stuff like that. And obviously I'll be around and about. I'm there most days, not so much the weekends, but I'll be there next week. So if you're coming, do drop us a message. And if you're going to any of the prisons, do say hello to the teams and tell them that I did say that I think they're absolutely amazing and I love them to bits and they work so incredibly hard. Right, that's it. Everyone's saying bye, so I'm going to say goodbye. And I will see you next week for Joy and Joel, episode 8 or number 8. So they're nearly in double figures. Cool. Right. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you next week.